Hello and welcome. This exploration is for you if you've ever felt a pull towards something deeper, something beyond the everyday, often called non-dual awakening. It's for those of you who are actively seeking, and also for those who think they might have tasted this awakening before but now feel like it has gone, or maybe you're just not sure if it was the real thing. My goal, my only goal, is to point to awakening with a message so incredibly simple, so direct, that your mind is almost guaranteed to fight against it. As you listen to these words, just notice what happens in your own mind. It's very likely that thoughts will start popping up. Thoughts like, okay, this sounds way too simple, or I get this intellectually, but there must be something more, something I need to do to make it happen. You might hear a little voice saying, but what about my trauma? Or, but I don't feel peaceful right now. This is perfectly normal. This is the mind doing its job. The mind's function is to analyze, to plan, to solve problems. It survives by creating a next step, a but. As long as there's something else you need to figure out, another book to read, another state to achieve, the mind has a purpose. It keeps the story of you going. But what if awakening is already here, right now, as you are? If that's true, the mind's endless search for a future solution suddenly becomes redundant. Its job, in that sense, is over. So, here's the invitation. It's not a practice, not a technique. It's just an allowing. Allow all those thoughts, all those buts, to be there. Let them chatter away. The thought, I'm not awake yet, can be there. The feeling of I need to do more can be there. The thought, I don't understand this, can be there. Let us, just for this moment, remove all of that as an obstacle. Let's pretend that none of those thoughts or feelings are a barrier to what you are. Even if the mind were to continue saying, I am not awake for the rest of your life, that statement itself has no power to prevent you from being what you already are. Awakening is simply the realization of your true nature, and because your true nature is already what you are, it can't depend on anything. It can't be conditional on your thoughts, your feelings, your history, or your future. It must be completely immediate. It must be here, now, unconditionally. It's not something you earn or achieve. It's something you recognize, and that recognition is not a future event. It's available in this very instant. In our world, almost everything operates on the principle of cause and effect. If you want to build a house, there's a specific how-to process you follow. If you want to learn a new language, there are methods and steps. There's a how-to for healing emotional wounds, for getting a fit body, for changing your career, even for making a good cup of coffee. We are deeply conditioned to think in terms of how. We look for a cause that will produce a desired effect. But non-dual awakening is the one singular thing in this entire universe that has no how. It is utterly, completely, and radically causeless. Why? Because if it had a cause, it would be an effect. And if it were an effect, it would be conditional upon that cause. It would mean that your true nature isn't always present. It would only appear when you perform the correct action or have the right thought. But that's not the message. The message is that what you are seeking is what you are. Your true nature is already the case. It's the constant, unchanging background against which all experiences, all causes and effects, appear and disappear. Because of this, it would be a profound disservice, an injustice even, to give you a set of instructions. If I were to prescribe a specific meditation technique, or tell you that you must practice self-inquiry for a certain number of hours a day, I would be reinforcing the very illusion we're trying to see through. I would be validating the idea that you are a separate individual, a limited person who needs to do something to become whole, to become what you already are. It's a trap. Many people engage in practices, and some may even have what seems like an awakening experience during or after those practices. But the ultimate realization, upon awakening, is always the same. You never needed any of it to begin with. The practices were just part of the story, part of the dream of seeking. They can be beautiful. They can be helpful for calming the mind, but they are not the cause of awakening. You cannot do something to be who you really are, for the simple, stunning reason that you already are who you really are. You can't travel to a place where you're already standing. The effort to get there just creates the illusion of distance. The search itself is what obscures the discovery. Here's the core paradox. The person you think you are cannot awaken. Why? Because that person that limited, separate individual with a name and a history, is the very illusion you're waking up from. It's like a character in a dream trying to wake itself up. It can't. The dream character is part of the dream. Any effort the character makes to wake up is just more dream activity. The person-esque search for enlightenment is often just the ego-esque way of trying to continue its own existence, but in a more spiritual costume. So, the search itself, the feeling that I need to awaken, is the illusion doing its thing. You can't get rid of an illusion by having the illusion do more things. It simply reinforces the sense of a separate self who needs to do something to achieve a future state. But awakening isn't a future state to be achieved. It's the recognition of what is already true right now. So if the person isn't what awakens, what does? The key is to shift your identity. Awakening is the revelation, the direct experience that you are not the person. You are the infinite primary awareness in which the idea of a person appears. Think about it. Before any thought, any feeling, any identity, any concept of me or my story, there is simply awareness. This awareness is always here, silent and unmoving. It's the screen on which the movie of your life is playing. We call it by many names: the self, I amness, presence, consciousness, or simply what is. But the names don't matter. What matters is recognizing it. The person, the thoughts, the emotions, they are all secondary. They come and go, but the awareness in which they appear is constant. It was here when you were 5 years old. It's here now, and it will be here after the body and personality are gone. The person is a temporary pattern, a fleeting dream, appearing within this vast, timeless consciousness, and you are that consciousness. You're not the dream character. You are the dreamer. The shift is from identifying with the fleeting character to recognizing yourself as the eternal space in which the character lives and breathes. This is where many seekers get stuck, and it's a subtle but crucial trap. The trap of language. In non-duality circles, you often see endless debates over words. Is it awareness or consciousness? Is knowing part of the dream? People argue that using any word at all is just creating more concepts, and therefore is part of the illusion. While there's a grain of truth here, it often devolves into intellectual gymnastics and egoic one-upmanship. It becomes a game of, I'm more non-dual than you. The truth is, language, by its very nature, is dualistic. To describe something, you have to separate it from something else. The word black only has meaning because of the word white. The word up relies on down. So, any word we use to point to the ultimate reality will inevitably fall short. Words are just signs. They are not the destination. They are fingers pointing at the moon. The mistake is to get obsessed with analyzing the finger, arguing about its shape and size, while completely ignoring the moon it's pointing to. The goal isn't to find the perfect word. The goal is to have the direct experience the words are pointing toward. So, let's move beyond the words to the experience itself. What does non-separation actually feel like? It's not a concept. It's a direct, sensory perception. Right now, look at something in your room, maybe a plant or a cup. Traditionally, you think there's you, the observer, over here, and the cup, the observed object, over there, with empty space in between. But look closer. Feel closer. Notice the sensation of seeing. Where's that sensation happening? Now, notice the sensation of the cup itself, its color, its shape, its form, appearing in your field of vision. Can you find any real separation between the sensation of seeing and the sensation of the cup? Or is it all one, single, seamless field of sensation? You'll find there is no distance. The witnessing and the witnessed are not two separate things. They are one and the same phenomenon. The awareness that is aware of the tree is made of the same stuff as the tree appearing in awareness. This isn't philosophy, it's physics. It is the direct experience of reality. While our minds are busy arguing about words and concepts, the undivided, non-dual nature of what is right here, patiently waiting to be noticed. It's the simple, undeniable, ever-present reality of this moment. Many people have a profound realization, a glimpse of their true nature as consciousness, but then find themselves right back where they started, feeling lost and confused. Why does this happen? Well, One of the biggest misconceptions is that awakening is supposed to be some wild, psychedelic, bliss-filled explosion that lasts forever. The mind creates this image of a crazy, colorful, exotic experience. So when the initial flash fades and old patterns, thoughts, and feelings resurface, the mind immediately concludes, this isn't it. I've lost it. I need to go find it again. And just like that, the search begins anew. This is the mind's most subtle and powerful trick. It convinces you that the quiet, simple, ever-present reality of awareness is boring. It tells you that because you still feel anxious sometimes, or because you still get annoyed in traffic, that you haven't truly awakened. But I want you to ask yourself a very honest question. Have you ever truly trusted this awareness? I mean, really trusted it? Have you ever just rested as this background of knowing, this silent witness, for more than a few fleeting moments? Most people haven't. They dip a toe in, feel the peace, but as soon as a difficult thought or feeling arises, they jump right back out and into the chaotic river of thinking. They haven't stayed long enough to discover the profound peace and stability that are the true fruits of this realization. It is like planting a seed and then digging it up every 5 minutes to see if it has grown. You have to let it be. You have to give it time and trust the process. The invitation is to stop searching for a state and start recognizing what you already are. This recognition is not an event that happens once. It's a continuous choice to abide as awareness, especially when the mind screams that you should be doing something else. This brings us to a crucial concept I call the trickle-down effect. The awakening itself, the recognition of your true nature, is instantaneous. It happens in a flash. In this very moment, you can recognize that you are the awareness. Seeing these words, hearing my voice, boom, it's right here. However, the full integration of this truth into your human experience, into your body and mind, takes time. It doesn't mean all your uncomfortable feelings, your old wounds, and your past traumas will magically vanish overnight. In fact, for many, these things can feel more intense at first. Why? Because you're no longer suppressing them. For years, maybe your whole life, you've used constant thinking, distraction, and seeking as a way to numb yourself and avoid feeling what's really there. Now, as you begin to rest as awareness, there's no longer anything in the way. The old energies, the stored up emotions, the conditioned patterns, they all have space to come up to the surface to be seen, felt, and finally released. This is where true courage is required. The mind will tell you, see, I told you this wasn't working. You feel worse than before. But what's actually happening is a profound healing, a purification process. The light of your awareness is now illuminating all the dark corners of your psyche that you have been avoiding. The revelation of your inherent freedom needs time to trickle down, to permeate every cell of your body and every neural pathway in your brain. These old habits and emotional responses have decades of momentum behind them. They won't just disappear. The key is to trust. You must trust that you are this unshakable awareness and choose to live from that knowing, even when the body and mind are in turmoil. You don't fight the feelings. You don't try to fix them. You simply allow them to be there, within the vast, loving space of your own consciousness. You meet them with the understanding that they are temporary clouds passing through your infinite sky. This consistent allowing is what integrates the awakening. It's how the knowing becomes your living reality. So what does this all mean for your day-to-day life? Do you just sit in a cave and meditate all day? Absolutely not. This is where we understand the beautiful game of consciousness. Even after you realize that your fundamental identity is infinite, boundless awareness, the person energy, the character you've been playing, with its unique personality, history, and preferences still has momentum. It doesn't just vanish. You still wake up in the morning. You still have relationships. You still have a job. You still enjoy your hobbies. You continue to play your part in the world as this person. But now, there's a profound difference. You know it's a role. You know, it's a play. You see it for what it is. A dream. A movie that you, as consciousness, are creating and experiencing simultaneously. Think about it. This is the ultimate game. For this incredible adventure of life to happen, you, as infinite consciousness, had to forget your own infinite nature. You had to dream yourself into the experience of being a limited person living in a limited world, with all its drama, its challenges, its joys, and its sorrows. Why? For the thrill of it, for the experience. And the most beautiful part of this game, the grand finale. It's the moment you get to wake back up within your own dream. You don't have to end the dream or escape the world. You simply realize who the dreamer is. You see that the character on the screen and the awareness watching the screen are one and the same. You are the creator, the creation, and the witness, all at once. When you live from this understanding, life becomes lighter. The heavy burden of personal identity starts to dissolve. You can play your role with passion and engagement, but you're no longer completely lost in it. You know that no matter what happens to the character in the movie, whether they succeed or fail, whether they are happy or sad, your true nature as the screen, as pure consciousness, remains untouched, unharmed, and eternally free. This isn't about becoming nobody. It's about realizing you are everybody and everything. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey through the landscape of non-duality. I hope these ideas have offered you a new perspective and a direct path to experiencing the freedom that is already your birthright. If this series has resonated with you, please consider liking this video and subscribing to the channel for more explorations into the nature of reality. Your support helps me continue to share this message. Until next time, be well.